Yo, what up? This is BB Hart here to talk about Mayweather McGregor coming up in about 2 weeks' time. It's the 14th today of August, so yeah, in 2 weeks or less than that, the biggest fight in pay-per-view history will be taking place through two men of different codes. Boxing, obviously, with Floyd Money Mayweather and Conor McGregor for MMA, UFC. What I want to start with is McGregor's chances. Uh, People are saying he doesn't have a chance in hell. Oh, when I say people, a lot of boxers, you would think 90% plus are saying he will not have a chance and he probably won't land a punch. That to me is fucking crazy that he won't land a punch. I mean, it's 12 rounds. He might not be able to knock Floyd out or knock him down, but for him to not land a punch, I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. He will definitely land a punch. Um, it's just whether it's going to be significant or not. And let's talk about a few things here. Even I think it's very interesting. I've actually gained a little bit of respect for Mayweather across this whole thing. Um, Watching a few interviews with him, he's actually a little bit cleverer than what I thought he was. I mean, he's not stupid, but and I think with age, he's got a bit of maturity and a bit more respect. So he's paid homage to the boxers before him that paved the way, and he's recognised McGregor as a threat. So whether that's part of the showmanship, part of the selling the fight, I'm not too sure. But he's 40 years old, and I don't think he has been training as hard as he has in the past. So therefore, he's probably not as fit. Connor's 29, been fighting quite a lot for the last 2 or 3 years. Um, and is very fast. He's got a couple of inches reach and a couple of inches in height. But I think you'll see him use that couple of inches in reach very well, and he'll make it look more than just a couple of inches. The other thing is McGregor moves in a unique way. He doesn't sort of, well, in regards to MMA, he definitely moves in a unique way. He employed a movement coach for quite a while, and then I think he got rid of the guy. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put it in a link. But I'm sure a lot of people already know his name. And that played very well, I think, into his MMA. Um, just the way he would move and his efficiencies within that. Um, and so that put him in positions and enabled him to set traps, which is similar to boxing, I think. I think with boxing, you probably set more traps than you would than in MMA. So I think that's a very good crossover skill that he's got. And he mainly does stand up anyway in MMA, but he can go to the ground a little bit for ground and pound. But that's generally coming off the back of a punch or a kick that's knocked his opponent to the ground, so he won't be able to do that in this fight, obviously. The other thing is Paul Malignaggi, who recently joined McGregor's camp, and he was there to spar, and he thought he'd be there as an advisor and all those sorts of things. But early on, when it was first mentioned between Mayweather and McGregor, he shat on McGregor, talked shit about him. And even, I think, in the interview from the first press conference from McGregor, he even said, yeah, we're going to get Malignaggi in, and he's going to have to answer for some of the things he said. So why would he not already? I don't think Connor's given any sort of delusions of why he was there. For me, anyway, from what I can see. So I think Malignaggi's just thought, oh, here's a gravy train, and I'll just go in and help him out. When really it was like, okay, you're going to have to eat your words. And, you know, regardless of not seeing the full 12 or 8 rounds or whatever it went for and how many times they sparred, Conor was able to do some damage on him and, touch him up. And so that to me says, Paul Malignaggi, he's a a two-weight class IBF WA boxing champion, retired for a while now, no doubt, but still of a high enough level that if McGregor is able to do damage to him, not necessarily saying that he won, because if he's able to do damage to him, it's not as far-fetched now, I think, that he could do something to Floyd. And people saying, oh, he's not going to fucking lay a punch on Floyd. That's bullshit. Like, he may not be able to connect well enough and knock him to the ground or knock him out. And obviously, there's, 10-ounce gloves. There's 3 knockdown rule unless they can't regather in the 10 count. But it'd be a brave ref to count Mayweather past 10. So I think the chances are a lot more than what a lot of the professional boxers and a lot of other people are giving it. I think it's kind of 60-40 for me. Mayweather's also said he's going to come out and be aggressive, which is just another good thing for Conor, because if he's aggressive, then it gives him an opportunity at least to land something significant and leave some openings. Conor's very intelligent. He studies hard, and Paul was whinging about listening to Malignaggi was a bit painful, really. But I think the best thing we can take out of it is that Conor was able to at least go toe to toe with him. And even from what Malignaggi said, is that Conor won both sparring sessions. Obviously, he's not in the greatest condition of his life, but still, it's a high-level boxer, and he was able to, touch him up. So, I think that's going to change a few people's mind. The next thing, I guess, is what does it do for boxing? And this is an interesting one because a lot of the boxers like Roy Jones Jr. and Lennox Lewis, I saw a video of them saying it's bad for boxing, and Oscar De La Hoya saying the same thing. That is fucking bullshit. I remember growing up in the 90s and the noughts, even in the late 80s, names like Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Buster Douglas, Sugar Shane Mosley, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather. I never followed boxing exclusively, but I knew these names because boxing had crossover appeal and excuse me, had broken into the mainstream a little bit. That doesn't exist now. Like, apart from Floyd's still the biggest name in boxing, and he's been retired for 2 years. I'm not saying that there isn't awesome boxers out there. Obviously there is, but I don't think they're concentrating on trying to break through into the mainstream market. And this is the perfect opportunity because UFC is way more relevant within pop culture and the mainstream media now. So it's a perfect opportunity for some of these younger boxers that probably aren't getting paid a lot. They're all going to be asked about the fight. So if some of them can come up with cool analysis or say something clever and capture people's imagination, people might start taking a closer look at them, watching their fights, start following them on social media, and this could lead to bigger paydays for them. The people that are complaining about it are probably boxers that don't fight anymore and purists and maybe promoters, but promoters, I don't understand why they would complain. So this is a great thing for boxing, and anyone that says, I mean, even Floyd would say that as well. So anyone that's complaining about that is is fucking stupid. This is like the biggest combat sports pay-per-view of all time and may never be surpassed. Bigger than Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao, which was a bomb. Like in regards to entertainment wise. And Floyd's already come out and said and recognised that, and that was part of why he said he has to go out there and win this one convincingly and maybe try and knock him out, which is going to make for a very interesting fight. I'm 60-40 for Mayweather McGregor. We'll touch base on this closer to the event. Let me know your thoughts, anything you want to talk about or chat with. Oh, one person I forgot to mention from the boxing realm. Prince Naseem Muhammad or Prince Naseem Muhammad. That dude was a fucking weapon and a absolute showman. I'm kind of surprised his name doesn't get thrown around more often. If you haven't seen that guy, fucking check out the footage from him. He's retired now. I cannot remember what weight division he is because, like I said, I don't follow. I never follow boxing exclusively, unlike UFC, which I followed basically from its beginnings, off and on at the start, and then came back to it more once it had been refined and everything. I don't box. I don't do MMA, so I'm not coming from any experience in there. I'm just purely from an observational perspective. But Prince Naseem Muhammad, check that dude out. Okay, this is me wrapping up. It's BB Hart, and I'll be starting to do BB on UFC. So let me know your thoughts. Peace out. Can't wait.